Hey there, Prairie Plant Girl here. I am going to be harvesting some potatoes today. So I have these large planter pots. These are actually old boulevard pots from my city, and I like to grow some of my vegetable crops in them, and one of the things that does really well in them is potatoes. So this year I planted some Norland potatoes in 4 pots on this side of the front of my greenhouse, and the other side, kind of behind you, has some sweet potatoes and Jimson potatoes. The Norland potatoes are ready to be harvested, and I've actually already harvested the very far pot down there a while ago, I think last week, so I'll give you a quick photo of that. It's pretty windy out here today, so hopefully the wind noise isn't too bad with the microphone. But I'm going to get in here. This pot has I put 6 seed potatoes in here, and these are big pots. They're like 2.5 feet across and 2.5 feet tall. So they're big pots, they hold a lot. I planted them the 22nd of May. So they've obviously died way back. They've been sitting here like this for quite a while, ready to be harvested. But I find potatoes, at least in my climate, can sit for quite a while in the soil and just store there quite well. Before I need to dig them up, and they just wait for me. You might see a little bit of green coming up in this pot. Some of it is some ranunculus that I had planted around the outside edges of these pots just to perk them up a little bit this spring when I was planting, and then some of it, I think it's just weeds. So get the weeds out of the way, and I'm going to try and get these old stems from the potatoes out of the way as well. I'm just going to pop these over to my compost real quick. And now I'm going to try and get the ranunculus popped up if I can here. So I'm going to save those corms and use them again next year. I think there should be one over here somewhere. No, I'm just finding potatoes there, so we'll leave that. And there's another one here. So we'll just put those to the side. And now we're just gonna get to trying to get some potatoes out of here. I have a drip line here. This is from other years. I never actually connected it to anything this year. So I was just hand watering these pots. And there's already potatoes right at the surface. Now, I didn't plant the potatoes super deep in here this year, so I shouldn't have to go down too far. The one problem with these pots is though they have kind of a waist to them. Down about this far into the pot, they kind of pinch in for a little bit and then go back out. So sometimes I have to kind of dig into that spot there, and potatoes seem to like to snuggle up against there for some reason. These are nice sized potatoes. So these are a red skin, obviously, and a white flesh. And Norland potatoes store pretty well for me here. So not that these will need to be stored for very long, but as we get further into the season here, it'll be good to have some to store over winter. I'm actually going to take some of this. I have some smaller pots of potatoes on the ground here. I threw the weeds on them, but I don't know if you can see there's a bit of potatoes starting to pop up to the surface, but they're not quite done growing. So I'm just going to take some of the soil and just use it to cover those up. And that'll get some of this extra soil out of my way. There. Gives me a bit more room to work here and find more potatoes. Nice potatoes. I use a combination of purchased potting mix that's for outdoor gardening and my own homemade compost and peat moss. And I'm filling these up. So it's a nice, airy, fluffy soil. Lots of nutrients in it. Just have too much in here. Can you see all the potatoes down there? Coming through. Just lined right up. They don't seem to be pushing into this channel this year, so I must have planted them high enough they didn't get into there. I don't know. It's good. May have gotten them all. Yeah, I think that's it. So I think that's a pretty nice harvest. I wasn't counting, were you? But I've definitely got more potatoes than I put in, which is always my goal. And I'd say a fair amount more. And I have some pretty nice potatoes in here. Like, it's a nice sized potato. You know, it's not crazy big where it's going to wind up with hollow heart or something in it. But just nice sized potatoes. And then of course there's these nice little guys which are always delicious to cook up. These will go in our supper tonight. Just these nice little guys. But yeah, I say a pretty good supply, and they're all nice and I don't see any disease, any scab. Well, there might be a tiny bit of scab on this one. Yeah, that one might have a bit of scab on it, but not a big deal. It'll still taste good. But no, they're nice potatoes. I'm happy with them. It's a nice harvest. I got a basket, would have been about this many, maybe a tiny bit more out of that other pot, but You never know. I might have had a little bit different conditions, different sunlight, a little bit different watering, who knows, as I'm dumping watering cans on them. But, oh, these are nice. These are nice potatoes. So, well, hopefully you enjoyed coming to see my potato harvest with me. I have lots more potatoes to harvest, but at this point in the season, I'm just going to be doing them slowly as kind of I need potatoes. Like I said, they tend to sit and wait in the ground for me quite well here in Saskatchewan. We're not too damp, so they don't resprout and grow on me or anything. And I do have a few plants that haven't died back yet because I did kind of some succession sowing in my potatoes. So yeah, it'll probably be into October before I'm really doing a big harvest, but this will keep me in potatoes for another couple of weeks, and that's all I ask for. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.